first shoot 2022. On to our next segment is Spotlight Club TED Talk, which is about bettering your public speaking abilities and also still learning, having fun, interacting. Our first presenter is CPA Segment. Invite you with a round of applause, please.
A story is told of one very small bulldog which was very new to its neighborhood. In simple terms, the owner had just migrated or just come into this new house and came together with its dog. And the second day, the dog thought to itself, the small bulldog for this case, let me go across the fence and see how life is on the other side. And that is what the small bulldog did. It went across the fence and to the other side. Unfortunately, danger was awaiting on the other side. There were two big bulldogs which dealt with these small bulldogs squarely. In simple terms, probably at these modern times, the two big bulldogs would say, Sisi hatupangwi, Sisi hatupangwingwi. And they brushed the skin of the small bulldog. They tore the ears. They removed the nails. They beat it. They threw it left, right, and center. And the small bulldog just went back across the fence, went and slept for the night. Now the second day, the same thing surprisingly happened. The dog went across the fence, went to the other side to see how life was on the other side. And the two big bulldogs were still waiting. And they beat it mercilessly. Again, they tore its ears. Again, they brushed its skin. And the bulldog, small bulldog, still went back to its house. And that day, believe it or not, the small dog still went across the fence. But all this time, something happened. The two bulldogs saw the small bulldog and thought to themselves, no, this is not an ordinary dog. We don't know probably what he's having for us tonight. Let's run for our lives. And the two big bulldogs, surprisingly, they ran away, considering that we don't know what this guy holds. He has been too much consistent. Now today I want to speak to you who is listening to me, and you fear the other side of life. And you've been saying that I'll start tomorrow for whatever reason. I'll not start today. I'm dubbing this topic, start today, tomorrow is a lie. I'm speaking to you who probably is a good speaker, more than I can do. And you've been telling yourself, I don't want to start today. I'll start probably when I graduate. I want to speak to you today. Probably you are a writer, you are an author. And you've not been writing. You've been saying, I'm still waiting for the opportune time. I'm speaking to you today. You who is a musician, and you've been writing songs, not in books, but in your minds. Today I want to speak to you, you who believe that I can be the best model Kenya may have.
Amen.
But in some way you are saying, no, it's not the opportune time.
All right, sir.
I'm speaking to you who probably is living with an acquired failure mentality. And you are saying, because in my family the best person only owned a bicycle, I can only own 2 bicycles, cannot own a car. I want to speak to you who probably You allow in your families, people marry and divorce within the click of a finger, and you say, no, I can't also. You have an acquired failure mentality. Now, by the end of this talk, we will reveal the story of the small bulldog. But even so, I sat down and asked myself, why do people procrastinate? Why do people start or say they want to start tomorrow? They don't want to start today. I sat down and somehow thought about it. And today I will share with you the things I thought that people think success that comes tomorrow is a factor of. Now, some people believe that success is a factor of opportunity. And therefore they wait for the opportunity for it to come tomorrow. They wait for the opportune time. They don't do nothing. They don't do anything. They wait for the opportune time. Surprisingly enough, opportunity is only maximized where opportunity meets preparedness. You must be prepared if you need to maximize an opportunity. In simple terms, if you need to get a boat ride, you must be close to the river. You cannot have a boat ride and you are very far away from the river. So therefore today, please refuse to accept that success is a factor of opportunity. Create your opportunity today, not tomorrow. Some people believe that success is a factor of fate. And therefore, they surrender to fate. Have you ever heard people say, graph yako imechorwa na Mungu? Speak to me, members of the spotlight. That it's God who determines your graph, and therefore they surrender to fate and they do nothing. In fact, they don't want to struggle through life. No, Paulo Freire, a writer, writes about 3 levels of awareness. And the first level he speaks about is magical awareness. Magical awareness are the people who believe in supernaturals. They are people who believe that everything in this universe is controlled by some powers somewhere. And therefore they don't have to struggle. They don't have to do anything. These are the people, if they meet a black cat in the morning and they are going to work, they say, this is bad omen. And they go back to their houses. These are the people you will hear them say, the devil really attacks this family. Have you seen what the devil does to my friend? They want to believe that everything is supernatural control. These are the people, if they are walking across the streets and they are not looking, they are not careful, and they knock themselves against a stone, they will say, Shindo Shetani. They believe that their accident is a part of the devil. Now, the second level of awareness Paulo Freire speaks about is what I'll call naive awareness. And these are the people who know that they can do something, but they choose not to do it. In simple terms, they know if they have to be successful, they have to go to school. And they have to struggle through the system. But they don't do that. In simple terms, what they do, they end up blaming the government. They end up blaming their failed marriages. They end up blaming their drunkard father because he did not take them to school. They end up failing or probably taking at fault the educational system. And they say, that KCSE was not friendly to us. Ilikuwa ngumu. Kila mtu alianguka. These are people with naive awareness. They don't realize that there's something that can be done by them. The last level of awareness Paulo Freire speaks about, he speaks about the critical awareness. And these are people who believe that if it has to be, it has to come from them. That by default, you are the only one who determines what you can do and what you cannot do. No one else. And regardless of how much we love you, we cannot come up with a timetable for you. Regardless of how much we love you, we cannot do, or we cannot go down and do press-ups for you. It has to be a personal choice. And life is 90% choices, 10% implementation. And therefore, believe it, fate is not a factor of success. Don't surrender to fate and wait for it. That life has already been determined. I'll do nothing. You have to do something. Start today. Tomorrow is a lie. Now, finally, some people believe that success is a factor of luck. And just by the show of hands, no pun intended, how many people know of Sport Pesa here? I'm the only one. Oh, Sport Pesa. Okay, let me take the gear higher. How many people have ever bet on Sport Pesa? Thank you. Thank you for being frank. You also. Now, let me, I have a question. At one time, if you won, if at all you won, did the money pay school fees for you? Oh, no. Okay. Are you going to buy a vehicle? You see, some people believe that success is a factor of luck. So they wait for the lucky day. And the lucky day, probably they believe, is when they hit a jackpot. The lucky day is probably when they believe that they can lie to the world that they've made it. Now, in an environment where every young person is believing that he wants to make quick money, either through Sport Pesa, either walking to casinos, and probably what they don't know is that the odds of you becoming successful because of luck are prohibitive against your odds. It's 1 to 50 million. No one has ever become successful because of luck, and he constrains or probably sustains that particular way. In casino world, because I happen to work or to have worked in one of the casinos, we had a quote and we were saying, what happens in Vegas? Stay in Vegas. In simple terms, what you win there, still leave it there. And the house, as we were always again saying, the house will never, those who bet, the house will never lose. It will never lose. Allow me to finalize by saying, I'm going back to my story, that your lucky day, if you are an author, your lucky day is when you start to write. If you are a singer, your lucky day is when you start singing. If you are a speaker, your lucky day is when you start speaking. Your lucky day is when you make a choice to start whatever thing that is in your mind and put it into actions. Things are created twice, first mentally and physically. You've already created it mentally. Why don't you decide today to start your journey in creating it physically? No, the small bulldog in life, it is not the size of the dog in the fight that matters. It is the size of the fight inside the dog that matters. It has been Simon Gitau, and I'm pleasured to share with you my insights.
That was nice, Mr. Simon. That was nice. It was beautiful. Let's appreciate him again.